So I'm starting with the pathway of the aorta to the right thumb. First we have the heart, which is located behind the sternum. Then we have the ascending aorta, the arch of aorta, and the descending aorta. Right here we have the left subclavian artery, the left common carotid artery, the right common carotid artery. Right here is the brachiocephalic artery, and then we have the right subclavian artery. The blood would enter into the brachiocephalic artery via the aorta and would then travel along the right subclavian artery, which follows the clavicle. After this, the blood would then enter into the right axillary artery, which is located in the armpit. This then turns into the right brachial artery in the upper arm. When we reach the forearm, we have two different arteries, the right radial artery and the right ulnar artery, named after the bones they are located by. They are connected right here by Palmer's arch, located in blue, and a branch off of the Palmer's arch is the princeps pollicis artery, which connects to the right thumb. And this is the path from the aorta to the right thumb. Okay, so now I'm going to do the venous return from the right thumb back into the superior vena cava of the heart. So once the blood leaves the right thumb, it will then enter into the right radial and ulnar veins. After this, it will then enter into the brachial vein, which is in the upper arm. This then turns into the axillary vein, which is located in the upper extremities of the body or the armpit. This then turns into the right subclavian vein, and at this point, the right subclavian vein and the right jugular vein from the neck form the brachiocephalic vein, which I put right here. This then turns into the superior vena cava, and the blood will travel into the superior vena cava and into the right atrium of the heart. Now I'm going to be talking about the pathway of blood from the aorta to the right ear. Here is the heart. Here is the brachiocephalic branch. Here is the right subclavian artery. This time, the blood would exit the aorta and enter the brachiocephalic branch. Next, it would enter the right common carotid artery. The right common carotid artery has a feature known as the carotid sinus. This is basically a bridge point between the right external carotid artery and the right internal carotid artery. This one's the internal and this one's the external. The right internal carotid artery delivers blood to the brain, and the right external carotid artery delivers blood to the face and the skull. From this point, the blood would go up the external carotid artery, and it would enter what is known as the posterior auricular artery, which branches off the external carotid artery. This artery runs around the mastoid process and the ear, which provides blood to not only the right ear, but to also the scalp around the ear. So in this picture, I thought it would be good to show a side view. Here we're looking at the right common carotid artery. This would be the internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery. And this is the carotid sinus. And then what's going behind the ear would be the posterior auricular artery. So now I'm going to begin the venous return from the posterior auricular artery down to the superior vena cava of the heart. So the posterior auricular artery is located right here in red, behind the ear, and it drains blood into the right external jugular vein, which is located in blue. This travels all the way down the neck and will eventually connect with the right subclavian vein, and they join together to form the brachiocephalic vein. These then lead into the superior vena cava, and the blood enters the superior vena cava and is delivered to the right atrium of the heart in deoxygenated form. Now I'm going to begin labeling the thymus histology slide. So the lobules are these little pentagon-shaped squares that can be seen throughout the slide. These dark purple regions are known as the cortex. These centers that are light purple are the medulla, and these little pink dots that can be seen all over are the lymphocyte concentrations. Okay, so moving on to the spleen histology, these big white bulbs that you see on the screen are the white pulp, and the job of the white pulp is to synthesize antibodies and remove antibody-coated bacteria and blood cells. They also contain B and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce plasma cells, which secrete antibodies, and those antibodies immobilize pathogens. The T lymphocyte cells manage immune response and attack and destroy any foreign cells that come into the body. These little red blotches that you see all over the screen, such as here or here, are the red pulp, and the job of the red pulp is to dispose of any worn-out red blood cells or blood-borne pathogens, and they're mainly made up of sinuses and cords. Lastly, the lymph node histology. This purple outer region is the cortex, this white in the middle is the medulla, and these small purple circles are the germinal centers. T cells are found in the deep cortex surrounding the medullary sinus. The lymphatic fluid basically enters the medullary sinus, allowing the T cells to be in close proximity to any antigens. The T cells are only effective if they can bind to an antigen. The B cells are found in the outer cortex and sections of tissue called the medullary cords, so this region. And here they produce antibodies, and the antibodies will travel to bind to any antigens.